Hello, and welcome to a special report on women's roles in politics and the economy in Europe in about the 16th and 17th centuries. My name is Erika Schmidt, and I'll be your host today. I apologize for my leave of absence, but health is really a priority. But before we get into the juicy tidbits of the news today, we must urge our European women not to allow yourself to become an imported bride. Now, there's nothing wrong with making a couple extra bucks. We all know the times are tight today. But the survival rate of imported brides to our colonies in particular is very poor. According to Wilma Mankiller, out of 144 women brought to Virginia by a sea captain in 1619, only 35 were alive just 6 years later. Oh, and try not to get arrested. Desperate men have an odd habit of emptying women from prison cells into their family homes. And please, please do not walk alone, especially at night. The business of kidnapping young women in particular and selling them as brides is still very much alive, unlike far too many of our women. Although some actions have been taken to improve the education of our continent's women, sadly women are, in almost all cases, not allowed to attend universities, as they are not allowed to hold the prestigious government positions that university would prepare them for. It has been recommended by many of my superiors that women keep their affairs private. Men in the family should hold the burden of high-paying jobs, interviewing with the press, and other stressful situations that women in our nation just can't handle. Science in England has been unofficially ruled a solely male academic field. As such, our country is overrun with women disobeying the laws of gravity, creating mass where there previously was none, and immediately adapting to their environment instead of using pre-established rules of evolution and evolving as a community over a long period of time. Oh, and also not having access to higher education and rigorous academic careers. The politics of our continent's women remains pretty complicated. Just the other day, in 1533, for example, Catherine of Aragon's marriage to King Henry VIII was declared invalid and she was executed for adultery for birthing a daughter, the future Queen Mary. We'll get to her in a second. As a side note, it has been confirmed that the male reproductive sperm are responsible for determining the sex of the offspring, so the king's shenanigans are total bullocks and not recommended for repetition in the future. In 1550, an Irish princess named Graine de Mail commands a fleet of war galleys attacking English villages and ships. Not so great for England, but a step towards gender equality. Now, we've all heard of Bloody Mary, but you may not know that the name comes from a Queen of England and Ireland, Mary Tudor, a violent ruler who reigned from 1553 to 1558. Pretty short. Hundreds of Protestants burned at the stake during the last 3 years of her reign, especially when she was even more cruel than usual. After a reckless Mary, England was relieved to have a nice queen like Queen Elizabeth to take her place. She reigned for about 45 years, reinstating peace, prosperity, and Protestantism. Sure, the world is chaotic and cruel, but women everywhere seem to be working towards the betterment of humankind, like Erika of Mongolia, who used her influence to re-establish peaceful relations between her native Mongolia and China in 1612. Alright, my fellow Europeans, that about wraps it up for today. Until next time, stay peaceful and prosperous. And remember, cinnamon rolls, not gender roles.